What is going on, my beautiful primordial serpents? It's a motherfucking integrated aged mods here. The man, the myth, the mozzarella. That's right. What is going on, my curdlings? Here we are playing PowerSlave Exhumed. We're going to be reviewing a classic 90s FPS with the best fucking most fun gameplay besides Blood. I think Blood is the king of the build games, just saying. And regardless, let's board our fucking helicopter because we're an elite crew of special operatives from across the world and we're going to go and hit the city of Karnak.
That all other nations could only hope to emulate. However, something has gone terribly wrong. Unknown forces have seized the city. Leaders from all parts of the globe have sent forces into the Karnak Valley. You have been chosen from a group of the best operatives in the world to infiltrate Karnak and destroy the threatening forces. But as your helicopter nears the Karnak Valley, it is shot down.
So first, we're going to talk about a little bit of preliminary info, just to get it out of the way here, just so you guys know a little bit more about the game, other than how cool it is. Regardless, it was made by Lobotomy Software. Night Dive Studios, of course, remaster it. Papa Night Dive coming in, remastering pretty much every classic game under the sun. Kind of nuts, you ask me. But regardless, see how you guys might like it. Just, dip or toe in, I don't know why I did that. Okay. Platform was the Sega Saturn / MS-DOS, and technically there were actually two different versions of the same game. We will get a little bit more into that in a couple seconds, and released September 19th, 1996. Hell yeah. The gameplay. That is correct, because it's a game, and we play it. Oh my... what the fuck? What? So, it's an FPS game, of course, first-person shooter. We have some fantastic guns. My favorite, of course, and I'm sure everybody else's favorite, the fucking M60. It's a classic gun, sounds meaty, sounds fantastic, and it is your bread and butter. And it is like just every other trope is the late 90s, except you get some cool, fun weapons. You get the fucking Hand of Doom, then you get Ra's Ring, and then it's like fucking cool-ass shit. You get a serpent. It's like an RPG. It acts as the RPG, because, every one of these boom shoots gotta have one of those, like the classic 8 or 9 weapons that are like that, and they have like their wild and wacky ones. But regardless, this game is really cool because it combines a boom shoot with a Metroid game. Now, I didn't say Metroidvania because this actually came out a year before Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which is pretty neat if you ask me. Metroid has if anyone is familiar with Metroid, you know that backtracking is second nature to that game, where, if you're in the first area and you find an area that you can't get into, well, maybe you can find an upgrade that'll unlock it better for you in the future or something like that. Like, for example, you can't open up doors without a rocket launcher. You go into the level, you get a rocket launcher. Bada bing, bada boom. You backtrack, boom. Now you can open up that door and get something cool. Same thing here, except it's a first-person shooter. And instead of random power-ups for your suit, you get random artifacts. So you get the Mask of Sobek, that'll help you breathe underwater. Or you get the sandals, and that allow you to jump really high. I think it really ties it together very well. The only downside is every time you revisit an area, you do have to re-kill everything, but that's fine. It's just you have to re-get all of the keys to all the things. But when you get all of the power-ups and all the other shit, it kind of does make it easier, but, gotta let it ride. But now we're going to talk about how this game was released. So it was first released on the Sega Saturn and on MS-DOS. However, they're really different games in the sense that you could get some different endings for the game based on the MS-DOS or the Saturn version, which we'll get into when we talk about the plot. We're going to be playing the Sega Saturn version. And in the Sega Saturn version, it's basically classic Metroidvania, obtaining new weapons, ancient artifacts, providing abilities, and we're going to play that one. That's the one that you're seeing right now in the footage. So we're going to get right into the MF plot. So, I bet you guys are dying to know the plot of this fucking game. So here it is, set in the Egyptian city of Karnak in the late 20th century. This city being seized by unknown forces. Maybe a special crack team of soldiers might solve that problem. To figure out what's going on here. Yeah, so they were sent to the Valley of Karnak, tasked with uncovering the source of the trouble, seeing what's going on here. Let's pause a moment. Helicopter, crack team of soldiers, it's a boom shooter from the 90s. What's going to investigate weird, creepy thing, weird, strange things are happening? Helicopter crashes into the ancient ruins, and the player is the only one alive. Now, we're just gonna go in, and that's it. Boom. Welcome to the game. There, you've done it. All right, I'm just kidding. So after the crash, you barely escape and you're sent into the valley, and you are now the destined hero to save Karnak. And you will now battle your way through hordes of these extraterrestrial insectoid beings called the Kilomat. And they're various minions of the Egyptian, kind of like corrupted Egyptian deities and whatnot. So you're gonna see like zombie onks and all this other shit. But the main thing is you find King Ramses. But the Kilomat have taken him. They've taken his remains, and it turns out King Ramses was actually fucking living it up. I'm talking like cocktails with the motherfucking little umbrella in it. He was living it up in the afterlife. And he also has like a bunch of powers and shit, and a bunch of cool artifacts, and he's like, yeah, go find him, please, and get my body, because the Kilomat are using my powers from my dead body, because I'm having such a good time in the afterlife, to do evil stuff. And that's pretty much it. And yeah, so he's in my notes here. I say they want to resurrect Ramses because he's apparently sick as fuck and a god or some shit. But before we go any further, I'm sure you can guess what we have to do. We got to go explore all these different artifacts and get them all back so we could put them on these pedestals so we can access the weird pyramid where they're holding Ramses' body and get it back. But let's talk about the arsenal. Let's see what we got going on here. So first, we got our machete. Trusty machete. Never goes wrong. Great time. Pistol. Hey guys, it's a pistol. It's a revolver. That's pretty much it. Then, oh baby, the god tier gun, the M60. That's what I'm talking about, my boy. Then we got the Amun Bob, which is pretty cool. Then, of course, the flamethrower, probably the weirdest looking flamethrower sprite I've seen in a game, but also the most effective flamethrower I've ever used in a game, because it's fucking awesome. And the Cobra Staff, which is effectively your RPG, and the Ring of Ra, which is jazz hands, but with, pizzazz. I don't know how else to describe it. And then you have the Monocle of Power, and this is quite literally just like your hand slowly comes up, like you're seething with power, and it just, and you just, I think you can only, there's only like 2 shots in it. Now we get to go through and gather all of the ancient artifacts. And these ancient artifacts are, of course, pretty neat, and they each provide a cool way to traverse the world and go back and get other shit. So while I describe the artifact, I'm going to be showing you where I got it, and then I'm going to show you what you can do with it, and then it's really neat. But regardless, first up, we got the Sandals of Inkumtet, basically high jump. You can jump really high, but you could also jump really far. And the Sobek mask, of course, allows you to breathe underwater, because Sobek is, in fact, a little crocodile guy, little crocodile man. That was my crocodile impression, maybe. Then we've got the Shawl of Isis, not that one. And this will let you reduce all fall damage because you just fall down. You just fall slowly. Then you have the Kilomat Scepter, which will let you pass through these green little force fields, and the Protective Anklet, which is basically going to help you traverse through poisonous swamps and lava so you don't die immediately as soon as you touch it because force lava. And the Horse Feather grants the ability to levitate, and yeah, that's it. You've done it. But yeah, so we're gonna keep on going. So now we're gonna talk about the console version and the mainly just the console version, because that's the one we're playing, and that's the one on Steam. So here we go. For the console version, it's got a couple different things going on compared to the MS-DOS, mainly featuring all of those collectibles that I was talking about before. However, let's just launch right into this motherfucking shit. So depending on whatever you choose as the player, there's really only one, kind of 2 endings that you could get. The first one is you're able to get the rescue signal by assembling all of the pieces of the transmitter, and this is considered the good ending. So you collect all 8 pieces of the radio transmission device, send a rescue signal, get extracted from the valley as soon as Ramses is like, hey, thanks for helping me. This message is going to self-destruct, just letting you know. And then his entire temple where you've been going to the whole time just explodes. So have fun, because if you go there and it's not there, congratulations, buddy. You're getting blown up with everybody. But you're immortals. I don't really... Oh, whatever. But regardless, basically Ramses is like, hey, man, thanks, dog. You got all my shit back. Guess what? I'm going to the big sleep, and now you are a living god, and you are immortal. So hell yeah.
Stand at the head of the living and wear the sacred crown of power and supremacy.
And that's it. Yeah, you're blessed with eternal life, and you become the ruler of the world and then the entire planet because you are immortal. And the bad ending is the player didn't collect all the pieces of the transmission and ends up being buried in the tombs of Ramses to be excavated centuries later by the main villains of the game. And you get put on display as the last human corpse. And continuing on this line, the MS-DOS version is a little different. The main deciding factor is within the last level of the game, not necessarily with the communication equipment anymore, and it just takes place aboard the Kilomat mothership, where a nuclear weapon has been armed and set off to go in 15 minutes and can obliterate the planet. Good ending is you disarm the bomb and the Kilomat retreat, and the player is left on the ship and needs to find a way off. And the bad ending is you fail to make it there in time and the Earth explodes. That's pretty much the only difference here. And overall, to be honest, why would you give a shit? To be honest, with the massive pinnacle, I would say, like, there's a pinnacle of boom shoots at this time, and holy sweet Mary Joseph on ballsack on bread, this game is fantastic. Please give it a shot. I think it's a really good game. I really do. It was a really neat idea to mix Metroidvania style gameplay with a boom shoot. I actually had an insane amount of time. You could probably pick it up for like $3 on Steam on sale or something like that. Just give it a whirl, give it a try. It is mad fun. It is a great time. And this will kind of leave us into the level design, and the level design really is just a really cool thing that I've seen in boom shoots. You know, a lot of boom shoot levels are just mazes. They're just like, all right, put them in a maze, let them go, let them see what happens, it'll be okay. It's not. At least for me, because I'm a dipshit. I get lost very easily and confused, especially in that System Shock video you guys watched a little bit ago. This is a very interesting level design in the sense that it is very intuitive. I found myself rarely getting lost, to be honest. Just going back and forth between the levels, like wandering around. I'd say I think the slave headquarters or something like that, or the some quarters really got me, and it was a little annoying. However, other than that little hiccup, it was really good. It was a high mid-tier delivering the casual and Metroidvania experience, and just searching for the antenna parts was really interesting and neat because it was like in places that weren't like out of the way, like you had to go and rub your body on a door going until you found a fucking secret door. It was more along the lines of like you saw where it was, but you had to figure out how to get there. And then you also had to figure out, okay, maybe I need some sort of like equipment, and also finding out that you could do the fucking stupid ass bomb explosion thing. You could rocket jump in this game. That's right, yeah. And I skipped half of the shit and it was awesome. But really good. Not really too difficult. I didn't really find myself dying that much to any of the bosses or anything like that. Also really fun, neat like thing with the bosses. They each had their own moves and stuff, which is really cool. I mean, the first boss that you killed, Set, was really neat. Then the Scorpio bitch was really cool. And I also really enjoyed, after getting an artifact, you actually got teleported back to Ramses, which is really cool. Ramses, which is a really fucking awesome quality of life, if you ask me, because sometimes, like, when I would get a new artifact, I'm like, oh, I want to go back and do something else in another level, and there's a camel right there that you could just go and do that, because you got to find all the camels. And if you get a camel, though, you could go anywhere on the map, which is awesome. And that is pretty much it for level design, and a little bit about the technological prowess, because I'm warming you guys up to the fact that we are going to eventually be talking about some very technical topics, as that's where I would like to take this channel. I love talking about old games, but I love programming, coding. I mean, I am an engineer, so by trade I'm an electrical engineer, and so it makes sense. I love doing this and I love programming and stuff, but I also really enjoy explaining how cool these games are, and I think they're a really good learning platform for you guys, and I would love to provide that level of detail and just kind of resources that everyone can use if they want it, or if they're interested in it. And kind of launching off of that, this is written in the build engine. That's right, yeah, this is an early version of the build engine, actually before, this was in between Duke Nukem, Shadow Warrior, and Blood. So Duke came out, but PowerSlave, I'm pretty sure it came out actually before it. Hold on. So Duke Nukem 3D was released in January 1996 on actually a different of the build engine. This is the build engine version that we all know today. Fantastic. I fucking love that. I will get absurdly in depth with that engine. I've got so much cool shit. Future me editing, flash a bunch of random shit on the screen that I've been working on. I have a bunch of demos for the build engine, how it works. I'm gonna have a bunch of references, and I've been working on a Discord channel. I'm not very good at monitoring Discord, so to be honest, please be respectful to everybody else. Don't be a dick. We're there to learn. We're there to talk about nerd stuff. But however, it was written in the build engine, and Duke came out before it. However, this was an earlier build version, and it it didn't have, well, on the MS-DOS system it was released with the build version. The engine was a little different on the Sega Saturn. The main thing was his build engine, boom. It didn't make it to the Holy Trinity, but it will still hold its own if you ask me, was the MS-DOS, and this was only for the MS-DOS release, as I was saying before. And this also featured a little different levels of engine quality. Specifically, it was the build engine before the release of Duke 3D. So Duke did come out before it, but this was just released a little bit. It was released after, but it was on an earlier build version of the build engine. And then another difference from the Saturn release was the player's HUD, which is true. So flash the MS-DOS HUD, and here's the Sega Saturn HUD. And this is the HUD that you've been seeing the entire time. And there was also ammo counter for lungs and swimming and oxygen levels, animated blood, mana vessels, which allowed for reusable mana energy that can cast spells once that spell has been acquired, and ammo is not universal in this release. Separate ammo is necessary. Grenades are used instead of ammo mines. That's pretty much the only thing that the MS-DOS game had, but there's not really too many differences other than the fact the Saturn version is considered the truest version of the game. And talking about the overall impact, really, nothing. Haha. Those are the only notes that I have. Nothing really, it's just a fun time. Almond Enjoy it, motherfuckers. It's great. And here's a tangent time. Fucking big fan. I really loved it. I had a blast playing it. Every time I got back from work, I would be like, yes, sign me up, baby. Let's fucking go. We're going on an Egyptian quest. But regardless, fun time, great time. Hopefully I get this video out in time where it's a quick little talk for too fucking long, don't I, huh? But thank you guys very much for the support in the first video. My apologies. I didn't expect it to actually get more than 3 views. So that's pretty cool if you ask me. And this is my little side note of videos will come out whenever they do. Please subscribe, but just know that they will be coming out, and I'm working on Fallout right now. But that'll be all for today. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you Almond enjoy your fantastic days, my beautiful, beautiful primordial serpents. Oh, fuck.